Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. It's Chris here with another machine here. We got another laptop. So I had someone offer to have me pick up a bunch of old gear, equipment, etc., including this Dell laptop. This Dell, I guess, ATG laptop, which I'm not familiar with this branding here, but I think it might have been. At one point in time, they had a kind of like a, I don't know if it was like a Toughbook line or a durable line or something that this was on. So anyways, we got this Dell heaping heavy laptop here. Quite a beefy boy. Take a look at the system here and see, it's quite beefy. Got this clip here going on here, and it's a Dell Latitude ATG D630 laptop. So it's for whatever that means. But what's important, is the fact that it is capable of being quote unquote modernized a little bit. So we took a look at doing that. So interesting design here. Take a look at the port selection on the side here. Right now we have this is actually a battery that installs in this tray, and then included in the box with this was a bunch of optical drives. So this person, I'm not sure if they just bought all these or if they just upgraded over time, but they had a CDR-W DVD-ROM combo, a standalone DVD-ROM reader, and then a DVD multi-burner. So 3 different optical drives, and the way that they work is they just pull out and then slide in, and then there's a mounting screw to secure it that is part of the guides on here. So it screws in, and the screw actually stays there all the time, which on other laptops like ThinkPads, where I've seen you've got the removal option, that screw doesn't have to be in there all the time, but in this case it is there. It has to be in there all the time, or part of the rubberized part on the bottom here doesn't stay on. So I put the spare battery on here because it seems like it's more useful than an optical drive these days. You've also got this pull down here with some USB ports kind of hidden on the side here. So it's interesting that you've got this kind of cover up, but nowhere else on the laptop do you really have those. Certainly looking on the back end here, it doesn't look like it was ever designed to have this kind of rubberized thing in the door on the back as well. But anyways, we've got Ethernet, a modem, some more USB ports. We've got a serial and VGA output. This is some kind of weird 5-pin barrel plug power supply connector that goes on this one. Kensington lock, audio ports, a FireWire port, and then a manual toggle for wireless. You can see there's a little crack in the LCD bezel as well. And then if we flip and look underneath here, we've got some interesting stuff here. So mechanical docking, which is always good for the time. The hard drive is installed here. Just 2 screws that actually screw directly into the drive itself to secure it, and then it slides out. And then under here you've got access to one of the 2 memory DIMMs. The other one is accessible when you remove the keyboard as well. So when I took this thing apart to redo the disgusting thermal paste that had completely dried out on this one, and took a look at all that, it wasn't too difficult to take apart. A lot of screws though. And then the second battery is this one here, which is interesting because not only is it this battery, right? You got this 85 watt hour battery here, but also has a built-in wrist rest, which I have never seen something like this before. I assume that there must have been an option maybe for a lower watt hour battery that came with this that maybe didn't have this wrist rest, but the wrist rest itself it's not part of the battery. Like there's no cells in here. The cells are all up in this. So I think that's the case. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be cells in here too, but it's weird. Anyway, so there's 2 of those that came with this as well. And all of these batteries still hold some kind of charge. So, I mean, that's kind of useful, I guess. Anyway, so we've got this whole, hunky chonker here to make use of. So how about we plug her in and turn her on and see what she's doing. So I'm going to get the old power cord, if I can feel my way to the connection in the back. There it is. And then we'll connect our network. And then we're going to power up. So you can take a look at the keyboard here. You can tell this was a business series laptop from Dell because they're smart enough to put a track point in. What I did find interesting, and this is the little things that you find that's different, is from years and years and years of using ThinkPads, where I'm so used to using a track point, the spacing between the track point, the nub here, the nipple, and the mouse buttons is shorter on this keyboard than it is on a ThinkPad keyboard. So I actually find my thumb trying to click down here on the touchpad instead of up here on the keys. It was actually a little bit uncomfortable getting used to, which I found kind of interesting. Standard keyboard layout here, some onboard controls for volume, and lots of LEDs to show conditions, etc. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. There is a minor touchpad with some touch keys as well. So let's boot up and we'll show you what's going on with this system. Okay, here we go. We're ready to hit the power button. The hard drive in this is a SATA hard drive, which means that you could replace it with an SSD. It does have a 120 gig spinner in it right now, but you certainly could, speed things up in here with that performance. So one of the cool things I thought on this one was, I want to show on this one is on ThinkPads during, I think around the same time, the Think Light was very popular, which was essentially having some kind of LED illumination coming down onto your keyboard before LED keyboards became a thing. So if I hold the function key and hit the right arrow on the keyboard, it actually turns on, look at that, red lights. And just take a look here. I'm going to turn off the light and point this down. That's your illumination on your keyboard when you want to type. Imagine being on a on a red eye or something, and the guy next to you pulls out this honking laptop and turns on his illuminator with this red glowing light. I mean, it's a lot. I think it probably is a lot less intrusive than a standard white LED, but still, I would be noticing that a lot more. So yeah, the red Think Light. It's like, this is like the Imperial, the Empire's version of a ThinkPad. Anyways, so we'll turn that off now because I know it's going to kind of get in the way of things. There we go. So it turns off. All right. So taking a look at the system here, I'll show off first the battery. I only had the small battery in at first. So that's battery number 2 is the one that's in the optical tray, and that's fully charged. And then the other one is charging up as well. So at least there's some battery life still available on this system. We're going to run hardware info here, and we'll take a look at the performance of this system. We've got our little notification here that we want to be okay to use it. And we'll show off the specs of this particular system. So again, as I noted, from a storage perspective, it's a spinning disk, that 120 gig SATA hard drive, but it's all green, all clear, no issues. I have a total of 4 gig of memory installed. That's right. But because I'm running a 32-bit version of Windows installed on this system, just to kind of keep the performance as clean as possible, it's only recognizing about 3.5 gig worth of the memory from an addressability standpoint. So you could go and install a 64-bit version of Windows instead on this system, and I believe it would have the capability of installing up to 8 gig of RAM as well. So again, 8 gig of RAM, it will support an SSD because it's got SATA capability, and then you've got that Intel Core 2 Duo T7500, which is a dual-core non-hyper-threaded processor, but still capable of handling some decent, compute capability. again, this system is not, given its size and weight, I would have thought that it was going to be a little bit more beefy, but performance-wise, it's pretty pedestrian. But it certainly is capable of handling itself okay. We'll go and open up a Google Chrome window here and bring the YouTube up. And if I remember correctly, 1080p really didn't run very well on this system. However, 720p was okay. Now again, that's fine, I think, from a resolution perspective, because this screen is 1200 by 800. So you're not going to be too bad there as far as that goes. So let's go ahead and finish up this ad. We'll go full screen on the video. And what do I have selected here for performance? Yeah, so I have 720p. We'll just skip ahead here and take a look. One more. So you can see here, as far as movement goes, there's not too much of the wonkiness that you're gonna expect when you get up to the higher levels. I'm gonna switch to 1080p, and you will see. I hope you can see. I can see it immediately. Things start to get a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting all those frames. Things are getting a little bit, something. So that's that. So basically, for multimedia capability, you're going to be okay to be able to view stuff, at a decent level. There isn't an integrated camera in this, so for doing something like web conferencing, you're not going to be able to put your camera up. It does have a microphone, so you would be able to do audio, listen, and talk. Obviously, plugging in a headset or something would work as well, and it does have Wi-Fi capability as well as the wired Ethernet. So a pretty functional laptop. I think it's going to suit some kid well who's going to do it. I've got 3 of these now all set up that I kind of was waiting. I was going to do a delivery, and then I got another one, and then I got another one. So now I've got these 3 together, and I'm going to be going tomorrow to take them over to the Durham Children's Aid Foundation, and they're going to get a new home found. But I wanted to show this off again as all these, to catalog all these systems that go through the box here. So an interesting system again, as far as laptops go. Pretty chonky, pretty heavy, but I think that's supposed to mean durability. But again, the armrest part is always fun, interesting. Armrest and the red glowing keyboard illuminator. If you had one of these series of laptops and have some more information to share on it, please put them in the comments below. I'd be interested in hearing your story. For now, though, that's it for now. So hope you enjoyed the video, and you'll come back for some more. Until that time, of course, I hope you're staying safe and staying healthy, and we will catch you in the next one.